Hello, welcome to Let's Talk About with Ione Butler. This month I wanted to focus on being of service and doing things for other people. And my two guests today are Darryl McCane and Sharyn Ross. Hello, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Darryl is a filmmaker and Sharyn is an editor, but I wanted to talk to them today about the work they do at Washington Prep, which is a school in South Central LA. So firstly, thanks for talking to me, you lovely people. First off, can you tell me a bit about what you do at Washington Prep, both of you? I know you do different things.
Well, I'm a teacher here, and I've been here for 10 and a half years, and we teach a film and media class, and Sharyn has become my partner in the classroom in that she's a volunteer, but she's pretty much a second teacher in the class in that we teach filmmaking, but we basically teach life skills. So it's a combination of everything. Film has every single subject in it: math, history, English, sociology. So we're able to combine all those things in being personable with the kids and allowing them to have connections with real human beings, not just computers, and allow them to build communication skills, to get more confidence in their speaking skills, their writing skills, and then their technical skills. And a big part of it is to help really build confidence. Kids are so afraid of technology, or they're afraid to talk to new people. So by bringing in people that they might only see on TV.
Yeah.
Or
let's talk. Let's talk about our population, and maybe everybody would.
Well, yeah, our population is 53% African American and 47% Latino, and then everybody else is other, which is a very small other. So it's pretty much Black and Hispanic at this school. So outside of, we do have some Caucasian teachers, but outside of that, our kids don't get a chance to see a lot or speak to a lot of Caucasian people. So a big part of having the British Academy down here is giving these kids a new perspective, and also the people from the British Academy who only see South Central on TV or in a movie. Now they come down and realize everybody's not running around being a gang member and all that, although that's here. It's
Just to give the audience a bit of a heads up, I was introduced to the program because I was a BAFTA newcomer. So BAFTA is an organisation, British Academy of Film and Television Arts, and that's how Sharyn became involved, I believe, with the program. And so, Darryl's saying that mentors, people from the industry who are part of BAFTA, have been coming to the school to help the program and work with the kids.
We have there are several committees at BAFTA, and the committee that I work for is the Educational Outreach Committee. And I think Darryl met our founder of that committee, Katie Haber, many years ago. And so our organization has been on campus for quite a few years in different incarnations. BAFTA,
for 8 years.
8 years. And also BAFTA has an inner city movie screenings in parks and areas where there are no theaters. And so this particular program is a high school program, and like Darryl said, we come down here to stand beside him and work hand in hand with these extraordinary young people.
And they are amazing. I started helping out, I think, about a year and a half ago, a couple of years ago. And it's interesting that you said about, people have preconceived ideas about what it's like in the area and what the kids are like. And, I had some ideas of what I thought it might be like. And they are the nicest, respectable, lovely kids. And they're so polite and really well-mannered. And they're just a joy to be around. So that was immediately it's not what I thought.
And you held my class one time. I was late one day. You guys had to hold down my class.
Darryl didn't show up, and so it was just me and a friend left to introduce the class.
But the mentors, my students were like, "Who are these people?"
Yeah.
But actually, it worked out good. No,
It was
I think all teenagers inherently are good people. We all grew up as teenagers, and your experiences shape what you become. So most kids are nice.
Yeah.
And if we do have kids that have anger issues, it's not with us. They have other things going on in their life, and coming to the classroom is almost a safe haven for many of them. They can come, that's why having a break like this is really rare, because my classroom is full of people and it's lunchtime. I do not get a break. My wife argues at me all the time. I don't eat lunch. And I try to tell her, I'm too busy. I want to eat lunch, but it's just that busy. Because they need so much. Kids are needy. But then when they find somebody like Sharyn hadn't been here except this week, this is Wednesday, she only missed 2 days. Kids are going crazy.
Close for 3
Yeah, we were close, but I'm just saying, where's Miss Ross? She's coming, but they get used to they feel their confidence level is boosted when someone like this comes in and she looks at their movie and gives.
Yeah.
They have to hear her comments
Yeah.
in order for it to be complete.
Yeah,
And that's, well, it's a wonderful testament to you, but it's also how this, I think all teachers that connect with students want to come in and go, hey,
Yeah.
here I am. Even when you came in and mentored, we had that one, I can't think of the boy's name, whose movie you pretty much starred in. Well, you had two.
Oh,
I know, because you edited the movie, but California
and I
Dreaming
love
in
him.
it.
I'll think about it in a second.
He was so excited to work on that project, and he was another one that was kind of like,
at knife.
you know, the one where
yeah,
he's
yeah,
holding
yeah.
your ankle and
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to,
That's
but I can't think of his name. But that semester is the semester that he really stepped his thing up and really he was trying before that, but
Yeah.
it was that semester that he finally was able to get it.
I think it's, when you pay attention to kids, give them a platform, sort of an encouragement. I think a lot of the time when you've got parents, either single parents that are busy and working long days and are exhausted, they don't have that time to sit and be and give them the
Right.
attention. And when you do, that's all they
Well,
need.
I think, the wonderful thing about this filmmaking class, and the arts in general, is these kids are able to tell a story, and a lot of times their story.
right.
And we're always amazed, when in the beginning of the year, the kids are kids. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know their backstory. And through them writing scripts and through us getting to know them, and I'm talking about like a month or two into it, all of a sudden you find out about the chaos in their life or the tragedy that they have experienced, and we're shocked. We're absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're absolutely shocked because, like we've been saying, they're coming in and they're beep-bopping teenagers and talking to their friends and talking to us. And I think...
And then you find out one of them just lost a brother or sister to murder.
Yes.
Or one of them just came from court because they're somebody that killed their family member. And so that's what they're...
Right, so, when we're talking about deep chaos in their lives, we're talking deep chaos in their lives.
painful.
For you both, what is it why do you do it? What is it? Why did you get involved? Why
Ask
do you do
her,
it?
because
Well, I know when first day I was going to mentor here, and I know you're aware of it. I remember I didn't know where I was going. I was nervous. I wanted someone to come out and walk me from my car into the classroom because I didn't know. I mean, just like you said before, you see things in the headlines.
Right.
I had never, I don't think I had been in the inner city. But from the moment I stepped into the class, I realized, being a parent, that unless I really make a commitment to these kids, I'm not going to make a difference. You can't just kind of show up and disappear, and I think this is why they have a relationship with me.
it is.
Consistently there.
Because I'm consistently there, the kids know me, they've learned to trust me, and I think through me being there and them learning, this is a good thing, they're that natural with the other mentors that come in.
Yep.
They shake their hands,
Right.
they introduce themselves.
They're so polite,
They're willing to accept help, they're willing to
Yes.
share. And
a big part of that is your personality coming in and breaking that down. And like you said, I think a big part is you being a mom, because I always let the kids know she's also a mother. And her son was in high school at the time. So you're in high school, she has a son, so she knows exactly what's going on. So the kids would kind of get that. But your motherly qualities allows them to feel comfortable. Because we've got some movies about gay and straight, all these kind of
and
things.
teen pregnancies,
And those are heavy
parents
topics.
not disappearing.
Right.
So
Parent-
they're not feeling judged. They're
Right.
feeling like
And
they
they
can tell
never
their story.
feel judged,
Yeah.
and
Right.
he definitely never judges. And sometimes it's good cop, bad cop. He's the dad that 95% of them don't have.
Yeah.
And he is their role model. He's the tough one. He's not just teaching film. He is
Yeah.
talking about, and you've been in those classes, he talks about real life, real education, getting jobs. You don't want to flip burgers your entire life. I'm the one in there, hugging them, kissing them.
Which
You're
is what
both-
they
you're both
need.
in a-
You know.
yeah.
Because I tell, like, we have a kid, Jordan, who's not with us right now, but he's just tearing up inside because his 14-year-old brother, he got him involved with gang violence, and then he ended up dying. But Jordan's a sweet kid, but can you imagine going 3 or 4 years and no one hugging you? Or no one, these kids, some of our kids never get touched. I cannot imagine what it's not to be touched for a day.
I
Well, the
didn't-
average,
didn't even
the
realize.
average
I mean, that's
person needs
crazy.
5 hugs a week, and most people get 1.5. So to hear that some of these kids haven't been hugged in 3 years is just
not hugged,
heartbreaking.
not even
touched.
touched.
Wow.
And I have to run next door.
Yeah,
Can
you
guys
yeah.
keep this going?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
right back. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Darryl is teaching as we speak.
Yes.
And so, Sharyn, what have been some of the moments that have made it worthwhile for you, or like stories that you've had where you're like, this is totally necessary?
I mean, the stories aren't terribly different. You know, one story to the other story isn't terribly different. I think what really touches me is when I reach a kid. Through the process of this art, which is quite extraordinary. It's like Darryl said, it's not just picking up a camera and shooting film. It's working in a group of kids you don't know, making that commitment, being collaborative, showing up, keeping a schedule, being disappointed because one kid dropped out, one kid was thrown out of school, one kid doesn't show up in terms of your actors and crew, picking up the pieces, moving forward. So as an overall filmmaking experience, when at the end of the year that film gets up on the screen, it's going to make the kids feel unbelievable. And their parents show up, or the administration shows up, and BAFTA shows up, and the mentors show up. So that's amazing. We're in school.
This is an authentic, it's very authentic interview because we're actually in school.
And I think personally, Darryl really likes the kids to make films with the idea of teaching younger kids, or even kids their own age, something about life. And so you can't tell a story unless you've had that experience.
Head. Oh. Is that Darryl? Hi. Miss Ross.
I'm right here.
Oh,
Hi, Adonis.
Mr. McCane just told me you were sending me.
Hi. Say hi. This is one of my
Hello.
kids, Adonis.
We're making a podcast, so it's a lot of sound, so just say hi.
Oh, hello.
There it is.
I'm Adonis.
Are you looking for me?
Mr. McCane just sent me.
Sit?
Yes.
Okay.
Where
Okay.
I sit.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
let's shut the door.
This is the best podcast ever because it's just fun and different. Take a
Here,
seat.
sit
Take
down,
a seat.
honey.
What did you say your name was, sorry?
Adonis.
Adonis, great name.
What's your name?
Ione.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for
Get
coming in.
back off. So I was just being asked, and what was the question?
Yeah, so basically, I'm just doing a podcast about, it's all about being of service and giving back and doing things for others. And I really like what Mr. McCane and Miss Ross do with the program. And so we were talking about how it's benefited, or how, like, what you guys get from it as the students and stuff. And so, yeah, just would love to get your thoughts on the program and what you think of these guys, and like, if there's any good things that have come out of it for you.
So you've got your course that you're taking at school, which is, you get credit for, and then you have the BAFTA members coming in and working beside you. So it's kind of a twofold. Are you comfortable talking about it?
Yes, I am. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically,
the fact that-
like, how has it helped, or like, what do you think about it, or what have you got from it?
In terms of filmmaking and all of that.
And just life.
Yeah.
I first want to say thank you because I am thankful for it. And I've got to, how can I put this? I've gotten more opportunities and a plan more, because hearing Mr. McCane talk on and on about it, sometimes I used to think it can be boring, but then as I sit and think about it, it's like he's really telling me the truth. And it's just him teaching me more about film production. It's getting me to my mind more out there and wanting to do more of my life other than sports. So that's one thing that I say I have that has benefited me from the program.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
There you go.
And what kind of stuff have you been learning? Because you were saying that it also kind of gets you thinking about life. You were saying about having a plan. Is that?
Yes, a
in what
plan
way?
as in okay, I'm a football player. So I know that my grades and my athletics can get me into college. When I get to college, what will I do? Because there's many more majors. And I'm talented in a lot of things. But Mr. McCane was telling me, you're a football player. You can be a sports analyst. I think that was
Analyst.
Analyst, there you go. And he was like, if you do that, he said, if you go into film production, it can help you because football is film production. So he was like, you always around the sport and you can do what you love. And that really had me thinking, I'm going to look more into it.
Excellent.
What grade are you in?
I'm a senior. This
You're
is
a
my last
senior.
year.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you applied to college?
Yes, I have.
And have you heard back from anyone?
Not yet, but I
Did
get
you apply to
emails.
play football?
Yes, I'm going to play football when I get there. I'll
Okay.
either walk on, but I have spoke to one coach so far.
Good. They've
with
come
football.
to see you at the campus.
Not to come see me, but he's contacted me
Great,
personally, so
great.
I have. That's a good thing about it.
That's great.
Are there any other things that you've got from the program or taking the class?
How about the BAFTA members being there? Have they been helpful to you?
Excuse me?
The BAFTA mentors, me and some of the other
Yes,
visitors?
they have. You have helped me. Yeah, you all, every time you come, it's like, I can be having a bad day. When you come, my day gets better because you always teach me different things. Like when we were working on the SeaWorld project, you taught me how to go on the computer and taught me how to do this and that. Like I've never been good with computers. So that's one thing that's really has benefited me.
Okay.
And I'm thinking I always had, it actually put my mind on maybe I can be a graphic designer or something like that.
Wow, that's quite a leap from like not being good with computers to graphic designs. That's awesome.
And editing.
Yeah.
So
That's great to hear.
that has benefited me. The program, I'm glad I took this class. I really am.
It's nice to hear.
That's awesome. Thanks, Adonis. I don't know
No
if you
problem.
wanted to. I'm just going to keep asking Sharyn some questions.
So go back to
Yeah,
class.
if you wanted to-
Thank you so much for helping us.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, honey.
It was very nice.
Really
meeting
nice
you.
to meet you, and good luck with college and everything. That's
you.
exciting. You're
Thanks
an
for having
awesome
me.
guy. I think you're going to do really well.
Thank you.
I'll see
Take
you
care.
in class, honey.
Okay. Wait. Goodbye.
Bye.
It's adorable. Shut the door.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Yes,
Just for
please.
sound. Thank you. He's amazing.
I know. He's great.
So, and that's exactly what I meant about really awesome kids in this school who are just polite and lovely and just so nice.
Yeah.
So yes, what was I? So you were saying?
Well, I was saying, like, you asked me, what are the things, like, what, I was
are the-
talking about that watching them accomplish making a film by the end of the year is quite extraordinary. And the other thing that really, makes it worthwhile, I mean, there's lots of things, but that aha moment is amazing. And I think you can get that with kids, and I've gotten with these kids. Darryl, I was saying that he really wants them to be honest and authentic and write films or talk about things that they have life experience about. Not, it's fine to have, write a comedy and all of that, but he thinks it's important to reach out to other kids through this program and showing movies. And so sometimes they'll write about teen pregnancy because they've had that experience or their mom had them when she was a teen. Say we're just talking about that. And just teasing out how they really do feel and doing research on it and, them focusing on the story that they want to tell. And there's this moment of, aha, I get it, I can be on the computer, I can research, and I can film it, and I can be a leader. And I love that moment. And then I love every moment walking through the school and kids coming up to me and hugging me.
That's amazing.
No, that's what it's great.
Yeah, I was speaking to somebody else about sort of it being a service and giving back, and I asked him why he does it, and he just said he did something once for somebody, and just the feeling that he got from doing it, he was like, it's kind of selfish now because it just feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, and I feel like with the love of the students towards you and stuff, that must be pretty nice, and like
Yeah.
them being hugged coming in.
So, it's, and you have really sad moments. You definitely have. I lost my first kid that I was very close to about a month ago. Wow. I mean, Darryl has lost to gun crime, gun crime, I guess, in the city probably 40 kids.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, since he's been here. And I've known other kids peripherally, not really in my class, but Vance Bird was shot in front of his home, and we're still reeling from that. And this is a kid that I really felt that I helped and the BAFTA program helped through New York Film Academy, through our other mentors, not just me. He went from first semester not being focused, kind of smelling like pot, not really engaged, to by the second semester taking on such a strong leadership position, writing a script, keeping everybody in order, shooting it, editing it, plus being involved with the NIFA program. All of that, he had just registered to go to a junior college the day before. Ugh. So that was devastating. You can see the beauty and sort of the happy-go-lucky kid in the classroom, but when they leave the classroom and they go back home, it's difficult to fight the elements, and he was really trying to get out, but just couldn't quite get out, and that was very, very sad, very, very sad.
How do you think people can be involved more and help and kind of be that, in the same way that you are to these kids, just someone to talk to, someone to give them a hug, somebody to give them advice, to help them move forward? How can people get involved more and stuff like that?
Well, there's so many ways to get involved. We live in Hollywood, mostly liberal Hollywood. There's a lot of money in Hollywood, and I think Hollywood gives a lot of money. What I enjoy about this program, the BAFTA program, is it's boots on the ground. We don't give that much money. What we do is we give manpower, we share what we love, and we actually come down here. It takes me 45 minutes to get here. I'm sure it takes you that too. I've known some of our mentors taking a bus down here. So there's nothing like one-on-one. So, and that's the most fulfilling thing. And if someone can do that, and I'm sure there's lots of different organizations that will offer that, everything from soup kitchens to working with children in organizations. That's a lot more satisfying than writing a check.
Yeah.
I think, and I think that makes our program very special, having that infrastructure that people can step into. There's so many ways to help. There's so much need in the world. There's absolutely it's overwhelming how much need. And I think, like, on a selfish level, I need to come here just to feel like I'm doing a little something. I couldn't sit home anymore, and this grabbed me.
Yeah.
So not everything's going to grab everybody. My suggestion is when you go, oh, that kind of works, pursue it. And even though it might be uncomfortable the first day, the first week, the first month, you'll get comfortable.
Yeah.
You will get comfortable.
It was funny. A question I had was, why do you think people don't always, do much for other people? And I genuinely feel like the core of everyone is good. We want to do good. We want to sort of help other people. That's what human beings are programmed to do. But then there's this kind of social element where it's, a bit awkward. Someone was asking for money the other day. I thought someone was asking for money at a 7-Eleven, and I didn't have any change, so I bought some cookies. And then I was like, do you want these cookies? And then I came back out and realised that he was like collecting donations for something. And then he was like, oh, no, not. And then I just felt really awkward.
Right.
And then there was this woman that kind of looked homeless, and I was like, did you want these cookies? And she was like, oh, no, thanks, love. And then I just felt like an idiot. and then I feel like and I was like, oh, it was just an uncomfortable feeling because I just didn't really know what I was doing. But then I think that kind of puts people off sometimes, that you don't know, you don't want to be patronising, you don't want to go up to somebody if they actually don't really need it, and then you feel, and there's that resistance. But I think if you just keep being open to helping where you can, it's
absolutely
totally worth it.
It is. And you're not always ready when you think you should be ready. I raised 2 kids. This dropped in my lap when I was sending my second son to college. So I was about to be an empty nester. And I really had no time when I was raising my kids and trying to earn a living and trying to, run a house and be involved with the community, with my kids' schools and, everything you do as a young person. And I've learned that it's okay not to be ready when you're not ready, that life is long. You don't have to feel guilty. And I do believe if you keep your heart and mind open, something will touch you, and when you're ready, and that includes having the time, that you'll step through it. I had no idea this was going to come into my life. I had no idea that this is my 4th year here, that I would spend that much time. I just didn't know. And believe me, between you and I get burnt out. It's a lot. I like handle the whole program, a lot of stuff in the background, all that. I'm going, oh, I'm tired. But then I step on campus and these kids are in front of me and I go, okay, that's why. So, and you meet good friends. You create good friendships. But you got to be ready. Yeah, I used to feel guilty, but now I sort of beginning to understand what life's about, and there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharyn. It's been so lovely talking to you.
You
I'm
too,
feeling a little bit
Ione.
teary just listening to some of the things that you say. But yeah, I mean, just sort of watching you and Darryl being in the class. Oh gosh, I'm getting emotional talking about it. It's just so much. You just have so much love for the kids, and I can just see it in them, and I just feel like, they might not always be getting it at home or in other places because of whatever reasons, but it's so valuable.
Yeah, it is.
And anybody can do it. Anyone can pay attention or have an interest or, talk to them or whatever. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you for
You're
asking us.
wonderful.
That's sweet.
Shame we had to lose Darryl, but he had to go and teach because that's what he does. But
Darryl
yes,
is the driving force.
He is.
He is an extraordinary teacher. I
He
think
is.
every we talk about that teacher that you remember for life.
yes, Darryl's that teacher.
Darryl is that teacher for each and every one of these kids.
Yeah, I remember being in the class and a kid had water on the desk, and the rule was you can't have drinks on the desk because of the computers because it messes them up. So he confiscated the water bottle, and one of the kids stormed out of class. And then he came back, and Darryl kind of didn't lay into him, but he just said, the reason that I said that is because that's the rule. We don't want to break the equipment. The kid was getting annoyed. And he said, in life, is that going to happen if you get a job and your boss tells you not to do something and you do it, you're just going to storm out and quit? He was like, do you think that's going to work in the real world?
Right.
He was like, I think, you're bigger than this. You don't have to and just the way he spoke to the kid, I was like, wow, wonderful stuff you're doing.
Thank
Both
you.
of you. Thank you. That was me talking to Sharyn Ross and Darryl McCane, two just really wonderful people. If hearing about what they do inspired you to be a mentor for young kids, I had a little Google of some organisations, just basically inner city school, volunteer or mentor, and a couple of things, quite a lot of organisations came up. One of them is called Citizen Schools, Volunteer Match, Inner City Arts. There was a bunch. They're quite specific to LA. I'm in America, but I feel like you can definitely just Google volunteering in schools or mentoring schools to find some great places. Also, Big Brothers Big Sisters.org is a really fantastic organization that matches women with girls and men with boys as a big brother or big sister. And I've been a mentor to a 14-year-old girl for about a year and a half now, and I can honestly say it's a fantastic organization. My little she's just a really awesome chick, and we have a lot of fun just hanging out, going to the movies, just off exploring different places. It's just a really rewarding thing to do. The commitment is about, 2 outings a month. Sometimes we don't do that. We don't manage to make it 2 times a month, but it's been great fun. So thank you for listening to this week's episode. I'll put the links to some of those organisations that I found in the bio or the link below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast on your smartphones. You can just go to iTunes and search Let's Talk About with Ione Butler. Totally forgot the name of my podcast there. As well as iTunes, I should be on some other podcast apps. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, and also give us a little review, a subscribe and a review, as long as it's nice. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this week's episode or any other past episodes, or even if you've got any suggestions for future episodes, you can contact me. I'm on Twitter at Ione Butler, IONEBUTLER, or you can send me an email. Let's talk about with Ione at yahoo.com. Thanks a bunch. Until next time. Bye.